Okay, y'all, tonight we're going to talk about different situations you're going to see with elapsed time. So, uh, we've already talked about regular elapsed time, how to find it, if you're given a start time and an end time. I want to show you what happens if you do not have a start time or you do not have an end time. Sometimes you're going to be given just an end time and just the elapsed time, or just the start time and just the elapsed time, and you're going to have to find that other piece. Because in an elapsed time problem, you're going to have the three pieces that you will eventually have are a start time, an end time, and an elapsed time. So you're going to get two of those pieces, and you will be required to find the other piece. So I'm going to show you what it looks like whenever you have to find the end time or find the start time. So there was a show on whenever I was little called Kim Possible. Some of you may have seen it, but it was about this girl, and she did like spy stuff. I don't really remember. But I do remember her saying, "What's the sitch?" Okay? And what she meant by that was, what's the situation? So whenever we see an elapsed time problem, we need to immediately judge, what is the situation here? What am I dealing with? So that's going to be our thing that we ask ourselves. So let's go ahead and do our title, elapsed time situations. Okay, elapsed time situations, and then below it we're going to write, what's the sitch? What's the sitch? Okay. So we, again, have two different situations. So we're going to divide our page into fourths, like this. We're going to divide our page into fourths, like so. All right. So, sitch one. Sitch one, and again, sitch is short for situation. Sitch one is that we are finding the end time, okay? So we're given an end time, and we're given the elapsed time. And we need to find, we're given the start time, and we're given the elapsed time. We're trying to find the end time. So let's go ahead and write that. We are... So it starts at 10:15. At 10:15. Okay? Which means that we are given the start time. Actually, we'll write this over here. So we are given start time and elapsed time. We're given the start time, we're given the elapsed time. So starts at 10:15 and lasts 2 hours and 52 minutes. All right. So our first step still, and we have an announcement. So we still need to draw our double T-chart, so let's go ahead and get that accomplished. I'm sorry, not double. Man, I am just losing it today. Triple T-chart. And come right on across. And then we can put our titles. So we've got start, end, and then hours and minutes, right? So do I know my start time? I do. And what is my start time? My start time is 10:15. Okay, so this is different than a regular elapsed time problem because I already know what we would actually end up adding up down here, which is 2 hours and 52 minutes. I know that that's how long it lasts. But this is confusing because I don't know when to end. Well, guys, that's what we're trying to find. All right. So we're just going to add those hours one at a time, and then we'll end up adding the minutes just like we did before, where we add the minutes to get to the next hour, and then we add the rest. So if we add 1 hour, what does that get us to? 11:15. But remember, we need to add 2 hours, so we're going to start at 11:15 plus 1 hour, and that'll get us to 12:15. Right? Okay. So now we're starting at 12:15. So now I need to add 52 minutes. Well, if I add 52 minutes, that's going to go over the next hour because I know I have 45 minutes until I get to 1 o'clock. Because 15 plus 45 equals 60, which would be to the next hour, right? Because 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So I'm just going to add the minutes to get to the next hour, and then I'll find out how many more minutes I need to add to get to 52 minutes. So I'm going to add 45 minutes. All right. And that'll get me to 1 o'clock. So then I'm going to start at 1 o'clock, and then I'm going to add the rest. How do I know what the rest is? Well, how many more minutes past 45 minutes till I get to 52? Well, how many more until I get to 52 minutes from 45? Well, we can count up, right? And how many more minutes is that? It is 7 more minutes. So I need to add 7 more minutes, right? So plus 7 minutes. Oh man, Ms. Harker, we forgot to extend this line. Okay. What's 1 o'clock plus 7 minutes? 1:07. So in this case, your answer is the end time. Okay, so I'm going to circle this. So I'm going to put a little arrow right here. Answer is end time. All right? So I'm going to give you one of those to practice by yourself. So it's going to work the exact same way. You can even pause the video right now and go do it, and then come back and watch the other situation, whatever. So I'm going to tell you that this next one starts at 8:10. All right. Lasts for 7 hours and 15 minutes. 7 hours and 55 minutes. 7 hours, 55 minutes. Okay, and you have to find the end time. That's going to be your answer, is the end time. So you can go ahead and do your triple T chart and figure that out, and then pause the video, come back, and then we'll do Sich 2. And okay, we're back. Okay, so Sich 2. And y'all, it's okay if you don't understand this completely right now, because we're going to practice and practice and practice tomorrow and Friday. It'll be completely fine, promise. So, Sich 2, I'm going to tell you that it ends at 3:25, okay? And it lasts for 6 hours and 32 minutes. Okay, this is where things start getting a little crazy, all right? So I'm still doing my triple T chart, but it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so let's write over here what we're given real quick before we draw our triple T chart. So I'm given the end time, and elapsed time. I'm given the end time and the elapsed time over here. Over here I was given the start time and the elapsed time. That's how the Sich 1 and Sich 2 are different. So I'm going to have to draw my triple T chart. So let's go ahead and do that. And come across. Okay. So instead of putting start and end, I'm going to go backwards. And I'm going to subtract my time instead of adding it. I know, I'm about to blow your mind. It's okay. It may be blown to smithereens to the point where you can't even understand what's happening, but it's okay. We'll practice it tomorrow. So we've got start, oh, Miss Hargrove, I mean end. And then we have start over here, but then we still have hours and minutes in the middle. So let's do a comparison. This one does start on this side, end on this side. This one does end on this side, start on this side. But we still have hours and minutes in the middle in the same spots. Okay? So, what is my end time? My end time is 3:25. So I'm going to put that on there under the end time, 3:25. Okay? And instead of adding an hour, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to work my way backwards and I'm going to subtract. So let's subtract an hour. If I subtract an hour, what am I going to get to? 2:25. So do you see the difference? Here we went from 10:15 to 11:15 where we're progressing in time, right? That's why we added. Here, we are going back in time, so we are subtracting. Okay? Let's keep going. So now we're 2:25. We might run out of room this way, y'all. So 2:25 minus 1 hour gets us to 1:25. Okay? 1:25 minus an hour gets me to 12:25. 12:25 minus an hour. Remember, I got to do this 6 times because it lasted 6 hours. Minus an hour becomes 11:25. Let's extend the T-charts, Miss Hargrove. I think we're going to have to go all the way down. Maybe even into the next box. This is just crazy. Okay. So now we start with 11:25. 11:25. I know it's real small, y'all. You're just going to have to pay attention to what I'm saying. 11:25 minus an hour gets me to 10:25. All right, how many hours have I subtracted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got to subtract one more. So 10:25 minus an hour gets me to 9:25. Okay, so I've subtracted all my hours. Now I'm going to subtract. So I have 32 more minutes to subtract, but I'm only at 9:25. So if I subtract 32 minutes, I know I'm going to be going before 9 o'clock, right? Because 32 is greater than 25. So if I start at 9:25, I want to subtract enough minutes to get back to that previous hour. So what's the previous hour from 9:25? It's 9 o'clock. Okay? How much time did I subtract? 25 minutes. I subtracted 25 minutes. Well, I need to subtract how many more? How many more minutes do I need to subtract from 9 o'clock? Well, how many more from 25 gets me to 32? 7. So I'm going to start at 9 o'clock. Just ignore the fact that this is going underneath. 9 o'clock, I'm going to subtract 7 more minutes. What's 7 minutes before 9 o'clock? Sometime plus 7 minutes equals 9 o'clock. What is it? 8:53, right? 8:53. Okay, so now I subtracted 6 hours and 32 minutes, which is what my elapsed time was. Guess what? This is my start time. So in this case, my answer is my start time. Look at what column this is in. This is in the start time column. That's how I know that what it is. Okay? Over here it was in the end time column. That's why the answer was the end time. Listen, I know this is kind of complicated. Oh my goodness gracious, you people getting early dismissals from Aspire. Okay, so I know this is kind of crazy. So I would recommend going back and watching this again and then trying this example that I'm about to give you. So the example is that this event ends at 8:05 p.m. Okay, well, we don't really need p.m. in this situation. We're just trying to get the scale down. And it lasts for 4 hours and 57 minutes. Okay, 4 hours, 57 minutes. Beautiful. So get those practice problems done. If you have trouble, ask a question on the comment. I might be able to answer it there, or a friend might be able to answer it, or come in for tutorials in the morning. I know that this is difficult, okay? I know that this is not going to come easily to everyone, so if it's not coming easily to you right now, don't freak out, okay? It's a difficult concept. So just bear that in mind, and if you're not understanding, come in tomorrow morning. We'll work, just in a small group. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have